HyunA's latest comeback has sparked more controversy than excitement. Once one of the most loved soloists, she saw a huge drop in support after announcing her relationship with Jung, whom she eventually married. Now she's getting hit with negative comments about her live stages and even facing speculation about whether she might be pregnant. HyunA's comeback was first teased on April 16th when her label @area confirmed she'd be releasing a new digital single on April 30th, her first release in almost a year. Fans quickly picked apart the announcement poster, which showed her with long nails and featured the title Mrs. Nails. While that might sound straightforward at first, the title actually caused a lot of buzz. In Korean, it carries a double meaning, nails as in the ones used for construction, which some interpreted as a nod to being nailed down or hammered. And of course, the Mrs. part didn't go unnoticed, with many seeing it as a bold reference to her new married life. The release was seen by some as HyunA standing her ground, making it clear she isn't ashamed of her relationship or her decision to marry Jung. But at the same time, it also added fuel to the fire. For many fans who already turned away after the relationship went public, the comeback seemed like confirmation that she's not backing down, something that may be earning her respect in some corners, but also playing a big role in the growing backlash she's facing now. What can't be denied is that there was a time when HyunA was one of the most recognized solo artists in K-pop, someone who could easily grab attention just by dropping a teaser. But that era feels long gone. Her latest comeback made that especially clear, showing just how much of that support has faded. It's not like her previous release was a huge hit either, but at least it got people talking. Fans were curious about her new direction after joining @area and returning from a long break. Even then though, the release didn't do well. It missed the charts completely, streams didn't come close to her numbers in the past, and her tour ended up getting cancelled due to low ticket sales. Still, as disappointing as that comeback was, most didn't think things could dip further. But they did. This time around, her new single Mrs. Nails dropped with barely any noise. It flew under the radar to the point where even some fans were surprised to hear she had released new music. A Reddit user said, "It's crazy how she went from always being in the top 20, usually in the top 10, to me just stumbling across her releases because no one is talking about it." In addition, part of the reason no one seemed to notice HyunA's comeback might be because it didn't get much of a push in the first place. There was barely any promotion, not from her label, and not much from HyunA either. That lack of effort had fans wondering if the silence was intentional, possibly to keep things low-key and avoid drawing too much negative attention. On top of that, this wasn't a full album, just a digital single, which might explain why the company didn't bother investing more into marketing or exposure. There's often less incentive to promote a one-track release, especially if expectations are already low. And then there's the part that really turned people away, which is that Jung, her husband, is listed as one of the composers. That alone was enough for a lot of people to skip the song entirely, no matter how it actually sounded. Despite everything going on around her, many listeners actually feel that the music HyunA's been putting out since joining @area is the strongest it's been in a long time. The situation may be messy, but when people focus just on the sound, some say this is her best work in years. While it was experimental, it still had a hint of her old sound, which people loved. A user on Reddit commented, "Her last two releases were the best music she ever did. It's a pity that her music is way better than before, but her popularity is facing such a decline." Still, even with the quality of the music, it didn't change much. This was her first comeback since marrying Jung, something that fans were still upset about, and the release didn't do anything to win them back. HyunA's recent live stages sparked a lot of discussion, but not really for the reasons you'd expect. When clips of her May 12th Inkigayo performance started making the rounds online, most of the attention wasn't on the song or even how she was styled, wearing leopard print shorts, a white hoodie, boots, a beanie, dramatic eye makeup, and long black hair. Some thought she looked unrecognizable, with a few mentioning possible weight gain. However, others were happy about it, feeling she looked healthier than in the past, when HyunA herself admitted that she was very underweight in the past and was making herself sick to keep that weight. These people also spoke out against body shaming, emphasizing that such comments should never be the focus of the criticism against her, with a Twitter user writing, "Insulting someone who has gone through a lifetime of eating disorders at the hands of an industry that exploits young women solely for gaining weight is insane." As it was said, there are plenty of reasons why people criticize HyunA that have nothing to do with her weight. The harsh remarks about her body in particular aren't new, as she faced similar attacks when she was dating Dawn, with some even suggesting she looked unhealthy or possibly struggling with substance use. At this point, it seems like the criticism of her appearance has more to do with people being cruel than anything related to her relationships. On top of that, rumors about her body have been circulating, with some speculating that she had a Brazilian butt lift or was wearing hip pads to enhance her figure. Others even suggested that she might be pregnant with Jung's child, attributing her weight gain to that possibility. However, there haven't been any reports on that or confirmation on her company's part. HyunA has faced heavy criticism not only about her physical appearance, but also for her perceived lack of stage presence, which has left many feeling like she's no longer the captivating performer she once was. This ongoing conversation started last year, particularly during her festival performances, where many fans and critics noted that she didn't seem as energetic or engaged as in her earlier years. Instead of delivering the powerful performances she was known for, she seemed to just move around the stage with her backup dancers doing most of the heavy lifting. The energy that once defined her was missing, and her effort during these shows was often questioned. Even though she has made efforts to appear more energetic during her recent comeback, a large number of people still feel that HyunA is not the same performer she used to be. Some of this can be attributed to her struggle with vasovagal syncope, a condition where the nervous system overreacts to stress, anxiety, or exhaustion, causing a sudden drop in blood pressure and resulting in fainting. HyunA has openly shared her experience with this health issue, revealing that she has been underweight for quite some time and was fainting frequently, sometimes up to 12 times a month. This condition made it incredibly difficult for her to stand or move during performances, which explains her limited stage presence at times. Given the physical toll her health condition has taken on her, it's not surprising that she has not been able to bring the same level of energy and charisma to her performances as she did in the past. On top of everything, HyunA was recently hospitalized, which only adds more stress and complexity to her situation. While fans may not always see the full picture, her battle with health issues has undeniably impacted her ability to perform at her best. Or it's possible that HyunA has simply lost her spark after nearly 2 decades in the industry. Some fans believe that even if her personal life hadn't become such a focal point, her recent comeback still wouldn't have had much success. The harsh truth in the K-pop world is that female artists often face a shorter shelf life, and for HyunA, her music hasn't really captured widespread attention in a while now. Her time at P Nation also seemed to hurt her image, as her music during that period failed to reignite interest. On top of that, her sporadic releases over the years have led to long gaps between comebacks, causing fans to move on and other artists to take the spotlight. So even if HyunA hadn't faced such public scrutiny for her personal life, it's likely her recent release would have still struggled. The difference, however, is that without the baggage of her relationship, people might have at least given her comeback a fair chance before dismissing it. As a Reddit user put it, in 10 years, most of the artists who are popular now won't have releases that make any noise. Ailey, for instance, didn't make a splash with her 3 releases in March. After seeing HyunA's recent comeback and performances, many believe her company isn't planning to renew her contract and is just fulfilling their current obligations by releasing new music. This theory is fueled by the fact that they weren't initially interested in signing her. HyunA herself admitted that she had been wanting to work with @area for some time, but hadn't had the chance. When she finally visited them, she felt like the company had a hip vibe and was where she needed to be, so she took the initiative to approach them and ask them to sign her even after being rejected a few times. The situation got more complicated when she revealed her relationship with Junhyung. According to reports, HyunA didn't inform the company beforehand, leaving the staff scrambling to come up with a public response in the middle of the night. HyunA even laughed about the inconvenience it caused her company, which hints at some tension between them. Given all this, many people think that it's likely that there's bad blood brewing and the company might be trying to maximize any profits before her contract officially ends. However, we will never know anything for sure until her contract runs out, so all we can do is wait and see. What's your take? Do you think HyunA can make a comeback and reclaim her past success, or is her time in the spotlight over? Let us know your thoughts in the comments.